Welcome back to Motion RC. Today we have the Popwing from Skynetic. This is a great EPP, easy to fly, flexible foam airplane that's going to be able to take a hit if you're kind of a newer pilot, maybe have a crash or an accident. You're going to be able to repair this nice and easy. So today we're going to be doing the assembly video showing you how to put your ARF kit together. And let's get it down on the bench now and show you how to get this started. So some of the tech specs for your Popwing: it's a wingspan of 900 millimeters, length of 575 millimeters. The motor is an AS2208 KV 1260 brushless motor. The propeller is a 7x5 2-blade. It's running on a 20 amp brushless ESC with an XT60 connector, and the servos are two 8-gram standard servos for your elevons. The foam on this airplane is EPP, so it can really take a hit, and the battery is a 3-cell 800 milliamp to 1000 milliamp LiPo. Alright guys, first step in the process is going to be to put your carbon spars all into the wing. You'll then take your Benchcraft glue. I used thin, you can also use medium for this part, to install your carbon rods. Next, after we get our carbon in, we want to put our servo trays. These are these little wood pieces. You just need to put the glue around the outside. Once again, thin or medium will work for this, and let those set up. Alright, now that that is hardened up, we're going to be installing our servos. To do this, we just pass the wire simply through the hole, push our servo down, and then we're going to have two screws on the outside that are going to help us affix that into the wing. We can take our Benchcraft screwdriver set, put those two screws in. Now we're going to take and make a provision for our wire for our servo. So get you a flat straight edge, and you're going to score this not too deeply down the length of the wing so that we can bury the servo wire into the wing now. Take you a flathead screwdriver, push it down through the crack just to open it enough to make it easier to put this wire in. And then just take your time and work that wire down into the hole we just made. Now that we've got that down, we want to affix our wire so it doesn't come out later. Let's just put a couple drops of CA down in the hole with the wire, and that'll hold it from ever coming out on us. So at this time, we're going to go on and put our control horn on, and we're going to come straight back from the horn and affix our control horns. We want the holes of the control horn to be over top of the hinge line. Now we're going to cut into this. I did find that my control horns hit the carbon spar in the bottom, so I had to snip out just a little spot of my control horn to get it to go all the way down through it. So like I said, some side cutters, and just cut this little piece of carbon out, and then I could slide it right down in there. And I used thin or medium here, guys, but I used thin CA glue to hold that in. Cutting the back side of this out just so it'll pass all the way through cleanly. Now we flipped the wing over, and we're going to add a little bit of CA to the bottom of the hinges just to make sure these are very well set in. We don't want these coming loose. So at this point, it's set up. We need to install our actual control linkages. These go in the middle hole of the control horn. And this little nut is very small, guys, so take your time not to lose this, but get that threaded on. And I have this little wrench that comes with RC cars that fits it perfectly. Alright, now that we've got those control rods in, we need to get our carbon spars and join the wing together. As you can see, you're going to slide them into the pre-cut holes, your carbon spars. We're going to line everything up, and we're going to glue the spars first, press from the outside of the wings in and make sure they're nice and squished. We want to take as much of this gap out as we can as this sets up. Same thing, we're going to run our CA down the front now. And grab it and pinch it together as strong as we can. Hit it with a little bit of activator. And let this set up for a minute, and then we can glue down the middle. If you've got some medium gap filling CA, this is a great place to use it. Or thin once again and just hold it together. This is what I used as thin, held it together until it set off. Alright, so this is how your motor mount's going to be built. It just snaps out, you put it together, and then put you a little thin CA all around the corners to get that affixed together. Now that you've got your motor mount assembled, we're going to slide it onto the wing. You want to make sure it's square and that the point goes to the middle of the fuselage. Once you get it everywhere you like it, you're going to take some thin or thick. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting thick around the bottom. Now this is a totally option part for you, but I put some thick CA on the bottom, then stuck it down, and then I ran some thin around the outside. This thin will set off a whole lot faster though, and make it where we don't have to sit here and hold. Hit it with a little activator, and now we won't have to hold this. Now we need to put our motor together. It consists of 4 screws going through the back plate and into the motor. They are countersunk, so you'll need to make sure your motor on the right way. I am using a little touch of blue Loctite on here to keep these from coming apart. The provided little Admiral motor works great on this kit and fits perfectly with the provided holes. Now we're going to put our motor on our motor mount. There's 4 screws. It's as simple as lining them up and screwing them into the plate. One thing I will tell you, I went on ahead and flipped my motor over after this and put my wires towards the bottom. I was able to snake them up through the bottom and into the battery bay after the fact, and it made this a lot cleaner looking. But if you go to the top, it'll also work. So right here, what we're going to do is put some zip ties in to hold our receiver on one side and our ESC on the other. So there's already holes provided in the kit cut into this. You just need to snake your zip ties up from the bottom, and so you can attach it like so. Plug your motor leads in. Remember, when we fire this up, if the motor runs the wrong direction, it's as simple as switching any 2 of these motor leads to make it run the other direction. Now we're on to the battery bay, and we're going to use this piece of wood and our zip ties again. These holes are already cut. You set the wood down in between the zip ties and tighten them up, and that's what holds your battery bay in. Here you can see my 1300 milliamp battery, my Admiral receiver, and as I said earlier, I ran these up through the bottom to make that wire a lot cleaner. Last thing left to do is put our wing fences on the outside of the wing. Once again, you could use some thick CA here, gap filling if you wanted. I'm just going to take some thin, run it down both sides, and hit it with some accelerator. It'll all melt together and be strong as it can be. So there you have it, the Skynetic Popwing. Assembly was super straightforward and easy. As you can see, beautiful little paint job on the airplane. If you're new to Motion RC, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget, whether it be by land, sea, or air, we have something for everybody. So check out the website, motionrc.com, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.